Recording. Cool. You guys, welcome to our Thursday team call. I am clearly very freaking excited about this call. I don't often hand select people to do calls, but I was like, I need this girl to speak on a call. She's like my all-time favorite person. I actually met her at Super Saturday at the beginning of this year, and she was like Mrs. Jatana, you're gonna have to tell them where your Miss is from. And Jatana, I don't know if you know this, but earlier today I was like, we're the same person. Jatana and I have been coaches, I guess, for about the same amount of time. Jatana's 3-time elite. She is a Success Club All-Star legend. And what was the other thing? Executive leader, which is the highest category on the leadership ladder that you could ever have. 10-star diamond coach. She's a wife and a mommy, and she's like Mrs. of, and I'm gonna promote you panel so you can tell them. And she's also freaking gorgeous and always just perfect. See, cute as a button. And if you guys don't follow her on Instagram, you kind of need to. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hi. Oh,
look, she's super cute.
For you. Somebody already knew, Mrs. Virginia.
She's famous.
I know her.
I love it. I love that we kind of have the same hair situation happening.
It's called the I didn't do my hair today. So.
I want to do the Jatana Instagram videos, in the camera, and then you kind of dance. And then I saw that your coaches were mimicking your videos when they came to this. I loved it. Anyways, I'm going to let you do your thing. I'll still be on. I'm just going to make you the speaker. I'm legit, I'm ready to take notes. I'm going to be a nerd for however long you go. I'm super pumped. All right, girl. Thank you for being on. I appreciate you. Do your thing.
Absolutely. Hey, everybody. It's weird. I can't see everybody. Is this normal? You have the elite status Zoom. I got the old school ghetto Zoom where I'm like, hi, 19 people. How are you doing?
No, you're good. Do you, man?
Okay.
This way you don't have to mute anybody.
Oh, well, that makes more sense. Oh, look, see, I got my fancy sports bra on right now. I am totally not Mrs. Virginia right now. I'm looking like a hot mess, but that's how we work our business half the time, right? In our PJs or in our workout clothes. So, hey, everybody. Thank you so much, Angie, for the introduction. Thank you for having me on your call. I know what it feels like to be kind of the mama bear, and you're very protective of who you put in front of your team. And so I feel honored that you would let me speak wisdom and knowledge to your team. So hopefully you guys come away with some incredible information that will help grow your businesses and help you really slay Success Club and make it a lot easier for you to prime your challengers into coaches. So a little bit about me, and I said some of my accolades or whatever, but backstory, I think it kind of puts people on a similar playing field so you don't feel like, oh, she's Mrs. Virginia and that's why she hits crazy Success Club numbers and why she's running these crazy groups because she's this and that. No, let me get back to the beginning because that's not the way it started, right? A lot of us, coaches that have been in the business for a while always have that story, and I think it's important to share. So about 5 years ago, I was pre-Beachbody. I was a stay-at-home mom. I had quit my corporate job to stay home with my babies. And, I had this big, high dreams of a really cool career. But I also knew I had two sides of my brain, big career and I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. So I didn't know how that was going to work. Got married, had my children, and decided there is no way I'm going to hand my baby over to a daycare. My career is just not that important to me. So I'm going to stay home with my kids. So I decided to stay home, and I quickly discovered that this brain of mine couldn't shut off. And staying home with kids started to make me feel a little anxious and crazy. If anybody can get an amen, they both got kids, and you're like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm going bananas here. I need some adult interaction now, or I'm going to lose it. If I have to say Cheerios or can you wipe my butt one more time or do the hot dog dance, I'm going to go bananas. And so, I poured into my babies. I went through the sleep deprivation. They started growing. One started going to preschool. And I started finding myself really tired and depressed. And actually, in all honesty, I could label it as lonely. I was lonely. And I live in Northern Virginia, which I came from the South. And in the South, we're so much sweeter. And we have barbecues together on Sunday afternoon. You hang out with your neighbors. Not Northern Virginia. Northern Virginia is very I don't know, there's lots of different groups of people here. There's a lot of military. So it's really hard to form relationships here. Even like at church, when I go to church, I had a hard time building relationships, which is where you should be able to build relationships. But anyways, I digress. See, Lacey knows. And so here I am with these babies. I had this, big banking career beforehand, and now I'm home and I'm really lonely. And I thought to myself while I was laying on my playroom floor one day, I was like, you know what? I am not happy. I have everything I've ever wanted. I have marriage, I have a beautiful home. We weren't struggling financially. I have healthy children, and I'm not happy. Yay me! Everything I'd ever wanted, I'm not happy. So I thought to myself, maybe I'll start working out, right? Apparently, like if you start working out, you might feel a little better. So, right, I'm getting the same here. You guys can relate to this. We're all in the same playing field. I was that tired, depressed, stay-at-home mom. I didn't wear false eyelashes. My roots were grown out like 4 inches because I never took care of myself. My laundry pile was like, all my kids' stuff was put away, but my stuff was, piled up on my side of the bed. Just not taking care of me, not pouring into me. And so I whipped out, I think I've tried Julian Michaels, 30-Day Shred. I had old P90X, couldn't do a pull-up to save my life, so that sucked. I needed a coach to tell me that P90X was not my jam. I didn't have a coach at the time. So I had seen an infomercial for Insanity. I went and looked it up online, and I was like, oh, $60. That's just not in my budget right now. So I put it online. It's so funny when Facebook does those memories because it always says, does anybody have Insanity I can borrow? I got to remember what date it is so that I can celebrate it every year and share it, because I posted that on my Facebook page, and somebody said, I have it. They were from my church. I'm like, can I borrow it? I borrowed the big old thick book of DVDs. And I still have it. I never gave it back. But she is one of my bod customers, so we're good. I think she paid for bod. Whoops. I probably should have given her a discount, but I don't think that's legal, so we won't do that. Anyways, I had Insanity finally, and I did it, and I started, and I stopped, and I started, and stopped, like a million different times. How many's ever done that? And your challengers have done that. We've all been there where we could not stick to a program. And Insanity's the absolute worst to try to stick to without a coach, without a challenge group, and absolutely no willpower, motivation, and sleep deprivation, and loneliness, and all that piled on top in my basement, my dark, drab, nasty basement, sitting there on the floor going, I have started and stopped this program 7 different times. The warm-up literally kills me, but the infomercial said if I just did it, I would get those results, and I wanted them so bad. I was a competitive cheerleader. I knew how to train, but I could not get past this wall that was stopping me over and over and over again. So I got on my phone. I'm sitting there. I think I was crying at the time. I got on my phone, and I'm typing in Google. People still do this, by the way. Typing in Google, Insanity, mom, and somehow I came across this thread on Beachbody's website, the old school message boards. I came across this thread, and there was this mom before and after picture, and I'm reading everybody's comments, and I found this chick, and I'm oh, she seems really cool. She's got kids, 2 kids the same age as mine. She had C-sections. She lived out in Utah. I didn't know her, a complete stranger. And I emailed her, and I said, you completed Insanity. I'm sucking at life right now. Can you help me, please? I don't know what to do. This is best day of her life, right? Mail some money. Anyway, sorry. And she reached out back to me in email. We connected on Facebook. She put me in a challenge group, which is what we're going to talk about tonight. And it was fireworks went off. This lonely, depressed mama who was having a hard time sticking to this Insanity thing that I had bought. I actually went and bought 2 bags of Shakeology because some coach's blog told me I should get it. I don't know what coach that was, but apparently Shakeology and Insanity go together, and so I went and bought 2 bags because it's 60 days, right? And I had my box of Insanity DVDs, and now I had this girl, and I was in a challenge group. And I look forward to that challenge group every single day. It was my only way of adult interaction. It was kind of sad because I was oh my gosh, these are my friends. I don't know them. They're from all across the United States, but these are my girlfriends. I'm sharing sweaty selfies. I'm asking what kind of Nike cross trainers to buy because Insanity, you gotta have good shoes. And we just became really close friends. And it was a piece of me that I didn't realize. I didn't realize that there was a void in my life until I got into a challenge group where I needed community. I needed people around me. I don't care, what background you had. We were all on the same journey. We all had a similar story, that we were pursuing health and fitness, and we bonded on that. And so since that time, and I became a coach 7 weeks in Sandy, and I said, I want to do this. I want to duplicate this experience that I was given. This I don't know, awakening, I guess you could say, evolving into a new human being from this challenge group. I want to give this to other moms. And it naturally flowed out of me. I want to tell everybody. My coach was like, she's the easiest person to sign, because I was literally like, I'm going to tell everybody, if I have to go door to door, run fit clubs, every mom needs to know how incredible this is. And so every time I talk to somebody in an invite process, I dig really deep back into that mom who went and bought Chick-fil-A 4-count chicken minis, side of hash browns, a large sweet tea, no ice, because I could get ice at home, and a chocolate chip cookie, and sat on my couch watching Good Morning America that was DVR'd while my child napped. That mom, I talk to her every single time. I dig it out of me, and I say, this person needs to hear the solution that I found that works so incredibly. And I am very determined to make sure every one of my challenge groups gives my customers those experiences. So that's my story, and I want you to know that Mrs. Virginia was that's a whole icing on the cake from Beachbody, because it would never been possible if I hadn't run into this business, if I haven't been surrounded by this community and the personal development that I've poured into myself, then none of that would be possible. So I'm so grateful for that coach putting me into her challenge group, and now me paying it forward and running these groups every single month and giving people an incredible experience. So I want to encourage you, do not drop the ball in the challenge group, because that is the bread and butter to your business. That is what primes your customers. They can become the most incredible coaches. It is what gives them on-the-job training, right? They're learning what it feels like to run an incredible challenge group, and you're getting them the results, and they're buying into you. So hopefully you're there to support them through that process. So let me share my screen, and I'm going to give you some content on how I run my groups, how I make them thebomb.com. I brag that my groups are probably the best in the network. Just a little bragging moment there. No, I love them because, one, I can hit Success Club 10 within 24 hours as soon as I post my call to action. And I'm sure a lot of coaches here would love to have that, right? A lot of times it's up in the 20s. And I'm able to duplicate this with my newer coaches as well. So hopefully this will work for you guys. All right, let me share my screen. And hopefully this works okay. Can you see this all right, Angie?
It's perfect. It's gorgeous. And you're freaking killing it, by the way. Do you know that this call's maxed out?
Oh, yay!
Yeah, I'm beside myself. Keep going. I love it.
All right. So some of this stuff you're going to be familiar with in the beginning, and I really want to dig into the latter part of my presentation, because that is where the nitty-gritty of my challenge groups are. So I'm going to skip through the branding. I'm going to graze through it, because if you don't have a good message on your social media, it's really hard to promote a challenge group and then turn the challenge group into a concept that people buy into, that they want to be a part of, and then turn it into an incredible experience for them, which in turn turns into results, which in turn turns into coaches or loyal customers. And so making sure the foundation is set is super important. So I'm going to run through that really quick, and then we'll dig into the challenge groups. So kind of the overview of this is understanding your personal brand strategy, which Angie is. Actually, Angie, I think you might even, no, I think you're my Instagram training. You might be in this one. I'm not sure. It's probably the Instagram training, but your actual Instagram page is on my Instagram training presentation. I don't know if you've seen that. But anyways, posting on Facebook with authenticity and intention, getting followers to challengers, challenge groups with results, and then rockstar challengers into rockstar coaches. So that's kind of the layout of this presentation. All right, so personal brand, right? One of the things that you need to make sure you have a foundation of, whether it's Instagram or Facebook, is that you know who you are. And it took some time for me to figure out who I was and what my voice was in this business. I'd say probably about 3 years. So if you figured it out early on, bless your heart, because that's amazing. It's hard to understand and grow into who you are in this business without copying somebody or being another coach that you see and admire. And it took me some time and some really hard times to be like, I'm not, Melanie, I'm not Lindsay, I'm not Amy Silverman. They all got this, like, their jam, right? Organized, proper mom, Melanie Mitro, Wanderlust, Traveler, Amy Silverman. Then you've got Lindsay, who's glamorous and beautiful. Like, you've got all these areas and you're like, where am I? What am I? And so you've got to really figure out who you are as a coach, because that's going to be the most authentic way to communicate to people. And it will directly, like, attract people to you that get you. So when you go to invite them, it's going to mesh. And it's so funny when I get into the invite process and I find out I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, like, hardcore. So don't go against me. Just kidding. No, when I find out they're Dallas Cowboys fans, they love country music, they drive a Jeep, and I'm like, this is weird. Like, I'm not even asking or hashtagging these things, and they're just coming to me, and they're like-minded because I'm putting my brand out there, and I'm attracting people who just get me, which means my invite is like, girl, hey, yeah, okay, all right, let's do this, right? It's super easy because I'm attracting my people. So just a little bit about the things that I share in my personal brand. I'm a Jeep girl, and I yell that out loud with who I am, and I kind of listed in this Jeep post all the different things about me. If you've never done a post like that, you should. I just listed out little quirky things about my personality, and people will relate to them. I love fashion, so I talk about that a lot. I talk about being a mom, I talk about being a wife, just my journey, my trumps, my struggles, and I'm real. Like, I'm the real deal on my social media. I'm not glossing over. They know what they're getting when they go to my page. Some other things about your personal brand that you want to be consistent about is kind of find a platform. This is going to sound very pageant-y, but it's really important. Find something that you have a mission about. So one of my platforms with Beachbody outside of health and fitness is the fact that I struggle with seasonal depression. This might be something you guys struggle with. It's bad for me. And we're going into this time of year now, and I can feel it starting to happen. And Beachbody has definitely helped me in that area with my health and my fitness. But I have a light on my desk. I take SAMe, I take vitamin D, and if it wasn't for my workouts, my Beachbody community, my Shakeology, my clean eating, the supplements, my SAMe and vitamin D, and my light on my desk, I would literally be in my bed all day long, like, depressed. It gets really, really bad for me, and especially with the time about to change. So that's one of my platforms. And that sounds very pageant-y, and I don't mean it to, but it's important for you to find something you're passionate about outside of Beachbody, because you can speak to that, and you're going to attract people who get you and are going to go, I struggle with the same thing. I know some people have certain, Hashimoto's, or they have thyroid disease, or whatever issue it is that you're struggling with. Put yourself out there and be vulnerable about it, because you're going to attract your people who get you and also need to hear that you are overcoming it. And so I speak a lot on my social media about seasonal depression and what I struggle with. And I go live and I give advice and tips. So that's one thing that I want to encourage you to do, is find a platform outside of Beachbody that you can speak on consistently. And then I'm like the worst meal prepper ever. I'm really ghetto. I'll be like, all right, so go get those microwave sweet potatoes and, like, poke them with a fork, and get the microwave bag of green beans, poke them with a fork, and stick them in there and put it in. It's so funny. But my audience thinks it's hilarious. Like, they love my meal prepping because it's so not fancy and it's really redneck. But it works. It works. I'll probably get, like, hate mail about how I'm going to get cancer from plastic wrap sweet potatoes, but it's my jam and it works. Sometimes I actually wrap a wet paper towel around my sweet potato. I digress. Let's keep going. So find a platform. My two things is sad and not sad like depressing, but my seasonal depression, and then my ghetto redneck, like, meal prepping. Those are the two things that I kind of do on my Facebook page and I go live about, and people enjoy it, or they get value out of it. Like I told you, I'm gonna scroll through this because I want to get to the challenge group stuff, but we have to lay the foundation or they're not going to get your message. So be authentic, be you, be real, share your daily life occurrences, not just Beachbody. I like to make these fun iMovies with my workouts. And if you haven't met Nana in my Insta stories, you should meet her. She's crazy. She's crazier than me. But find the characters in your house. You know, if your kids are funny, if your mom is funny, add those people into your social media platforms, because it gives like this dynamic and the characters, and people really are drawn to it. And I swear, the more I put my mom in there, the more people get super excited about my Insta stories. They're like, where's Nana? I'm like, Nana is on vacation. Give her a break. So that's another thing that you can do to bring people into your life is, you know, show off your kids, show off your mom, show off your husband. If you guys have a cute little relationship, talk about it. Summer Tucker's great at that. Have you seen Summer and Chad Tucker? Like, they're the cutest ever. They're always talking about like swinging from the chandelier in their bedroom because they have a crazy sex life or something. But sorry if I just offended people, but that's Chad and Summer. That's their jam. So make sure you're doing things like that to really bring people into your life and be real and vulnerable. All right. Make your post relatable to your niche. Now we're getting a little businessy. Make your post relatable to your niche. So I'm going to go into now, hold on, I have my notes right here. I'm going to go into now kind of how to go from, you've got your brand, right? You've got your jam, who you are. Now, how do you convert that into a challenge group experience? At what point in your posting can you make that a challenge group experience? And that's what I'm going to go into here. We're going to talk a little bit about pain points. Pain points are, and I'm sure Angie has taught on this before, but that is my jam. Like, if you don't understand pain points, you got to get it, because that is how you hook. That's how you right hook, and how you jab throughout the week towards a challenge group experience. So we all have pain points, and they're all different depending on the season that we're in, or depending on the phase of life that we're in. I speak directly to my personal pain points because I think that's what people are going to relate to most. So my challenge groups are tailored around whatever pain point I'm addressing, which is usually tailored around the season that we're in, time of year that we're in, what things bothered me before Beachbody this time of year. So for right now, most people are thinking about the holidays, right? They're thinking about, oh man, I've got, Christmas coming up, and my husband told me we're going to military ball, and I don't want to go buy a formal gown. Like, all the stuff is going on. Oh, skinny jeans. Everybody see Melanie Mitro's little skinny jean challenge. Things like that. Those are great opportunities to build challenge groups around them, and you want to kind of be jabbing on those throughout the week before you present your challenge group opportunity. So one of my favorite quotes, and this comes from Angie Lee, it's this blue quote here. It says, when you know the conversation in your customer's head, you've won. Let that marinate for a minute. When you know the conversation in your customer's head, you've won. What things do you lay in bed at night stressing over? What things do you think about while you're driving? What things do you think about when you're trying on clothes in the dressing room? All of those conversations that you've had, or your customers might have had, your potential customers might have, those are the things that you need to be addressing in your post. Because those are the things they're going to read, and they're going to be like, oh my gosh, Angie totally gets me. Like, she just literally read my thoughts. How did she know I was struggling with that? And then a few days later, Angie presents a solution to that pain point that she addressed on her wall. You've got to be the master of pain points and knowing what's going on in your customer's head. And typically, if you've thought about it, there's 100 other women on your social media, if not 1,000, who have thought the same thing. So be vulnerable and be willing to address those things. And this is another example was Mom Bod. Here's an example of a challenge group I did in the summer and how I was able to jab through it. You know those pull applications that come in the mail, right? And you're like, I write the pull applications here. Wait, where's a piece of paper? Oh, pull applications. Oh, okay. April 15th. Shoot. Oh my gosh, I got to go to Target and get a bathing suit. I don't even want to wear a bathing suit. Like, screw the pull application. This sucks. I don't want to fill out the pool application because I don't want to think about taking my kids to the pool right now because I am not feeling good in my skin. It is March. I only have 30 days. What the heck am I going to do? That is an awesome opportunity to share. So I was able to get my pool application and go, I remember when this bad boy came in the mail and it scared the living crap out of me because I didn't want to think about the fact that in 30 days I would be taking my kids swimming. So that was a great post to start addressing, and I got a lot of reaction from it of people going, I feel the exact same way right now. And that would turn into a fantastic challenge group. Another thing is talking about the community that challenge groups provide. So I do kickoff calls, which I'm going to show here in a minute, and loneliness was a big part of my story. And so I try to be very proactive with talking about the community aspect of coaching and also the community aspect of the challenge group, because I know that my audience knows my story, and I know when I present a solution to what bothered me and now I have a solution for it, it's going to speak to them. And then there's so many women have messaged me and said, I feel the exact same way you do right now, and I don't know how to get out of it. And now you're showing me that you've got this group, and I don't even care about fitness. I just want to have friends. I'll join. What am I going to do? This sounds so much fun. So I've had people just join my challenge groups when they weren't even caring about the fitness side of it because they wanted to be a part of something that was fun and exciting. And that obviously speaks to my story. This one is more focused on the business side of things, but I do make sure I sprinkle that in there because I'm going to present the coaching opportunity inside my challenge group as well later on once they start getting results and start falling in love with the process. So I do kind of sprinkle in the coaching opportunity and what it's done for my life. So this was just a post on how I was able to take my son to Disney World on his 6th birthday and surprise him. So make sure you're doing those things as well. All right. So followers to challengers. We talked about living your life out loud on social media, being super relatable, helping your followers understand how you can help them based on your own personal struggles and based on the season that you're in. And then you're finally doing your right hook in your post, whether it be on Instagram or on Facebook. And you're saying, all right, I'm running this challenge group. It's going to be, what's my last one? What's the name of it? I can't remember. Why am I drawing a blank? I can't remember it. I'll just pick out one. Summer Slim Down, Summer Strong. It's going to be called Summer Strong. We're all about, making sure that we are taking care of ourselves, even though we're going to be out running around with our kids. Whatever your challenge group concept is, it's based on the pain points, based on the season. You go and do your right hook, right? All right. Here's where we lay down the foundation of running a challenge group sneak peek. That's how I run my groups. I do a sneak peek format, just like you do a coaching opportunity sneak peek, but this is a challenge group sneak peek where I can put all my prospects that I've talked to in those back conversations, whether it be in a DM or PM or on my wall if they responded to my call to action. I get everybody together in my group and I communicate to all of them all at once. Of course, there's conversations that have happened, but here's a little rockstar tip. These are my favorite apps to use. I don't use PicMonkey as much anymore. I love Canva and I love Clipping Magic. Clipping Magic, these figures, myself and my Diamond Coach Afton here were clipped out of our picture and put on this cover photo in 10 seconds. So if you don't use Clipping Magic, you should. It's so much easier than trying to sketch. Remember the days where you use PicMonkey and you're like, oh my gosh, I look like a funky little shape. I can't get my lines right. Clipping Magic has saved my life on that one. And Canva is absolutely gorgeous. These were all made with Canva and this presentation was made with Canva. So if you don't use those two, I'd highly recommend them. PicMonkey is kind of old school, but those two I love a ton. So I usually create a cover photo for my challenge group sneak peek. I started adding my prospects in there and it's open, right? All right, so this one's called Motivated Mama. Here's an example of a challenge group if you need an idea and you're like, I don't even know what to call mine. This one was in April, so it was focused around spring cleaning, right? Season. You got to think about the things that people are thinking about, what your audience is thinking about. And there's an app on your phone. So remember this for April. There's an app on your phone that's called Motivated Moms or Motivated Moms. And basically what it does is it breaks down your whole house and how to clean your house every day of the week without overwhelming yourself. So it'd be like, on Monday, take the first shelf in your fridge and clean it off. Go pick a drawer and clean that off. And then it gives you daily things that you do every single day. So I use that app and I talked about spring cleaning and how we were going to get our houses organized for the spring, and how we were going to stay healthy and fit and hold each other accountable, and we're going to focus on our meal planning and meal prepping. And you can actually tailor Motivated Moms to add your workout in there, and you can also talk about like grocery shopping and things like that, so they can customize their daily to-do list. So go check out that. Even if you don't run a challenge group around it, I love that app because it helps me keep my house organized. But I ran a whole challenge group around it, and it worked great for the spring because that's something that everybody talks about in springtime, is spring cleaning. All right, another opportunity or challenge group opportunity that I did was, instead of Miracle Morning, which is like so not Jatana Jam, like Miracle Morning sounds like Sunday school. I love the book. It's amazing. But I did Slay the Day, and I talked about how I think I did it right as school was starting, and I was like, you know what? The kids are off to school now. Let's start to slay our day. Like, let's not be lazy and get on Good Morning America and watch it with our Chick-fil-A. Let's slay the day. So together we're going to do our Miracle Morning reading, and we're going to get our fitness in, we're going to get our meal prepping in, and we're going to get results, and we're going to learn new habits that are going to be incredible for your day. And I called it Slay the Day, and it was fun. All right. So use outside resources to kind of guide your challenge groups to make them fun and spicy. So the sneak peek is open. Got a cute cover photo from Canva and Clipping Magic. Made it look cute, right? I'm adding all my prospects in there. If you have a team, you add your coaches that you signed the previous month in there as apprentice coaches, and they are going out to find 3 prospects that will order as well. And I have a welcome message in my before and after picture. That's the very first post that I have in there. Next, I tend to go live. Obviously, this is a really old picture because I had extensions. Now I have a bob. That's not my real hair. That's extensions. But I go live in there, and I tell my story. I do not like doing recordings or YouTube videos anymore. I think live is super important for you to share your story every single challenge group live. Because every single time I share my story, it's a different spin on it. And it's usually based on whatever time of year that I'm in. And I typically will start tearing up and crying when I share, like, really the effects that challenge groups have had on my life. And they get to know me outside of being the social media person that they know, and the real raw Jatana, sharing my story and sharing my heart. So it's important to share your before and after pictures, have a welcome message, before and after picture, go live, and share your testimony about what Beachbody has done for you. Not Beachbody necessarily, but like this experience that they're about to go through. Share what it's done for you and be really raw with that. Then this is all I do. Like, literally, it's like 3 days. Sometimes it's like 2.5 days. Then I do my call to action. Now, this is an old call to action. Feel free to screenshot, or you'll have it on a recording. My call to action now is BOD, All Access Challenge Pack, but before I could like sling, what's the word? Hustle some 21-day fix challenge packs, because I had beginner and intermediate, which was fix and fix extreme. And that's like all I ever sold because that worked with my audience. But this is the post that I do for my call to action in my sneak peek. And it has BOD All Access Challenge Pack as the link. Now that I am mentoring coaches more in my challenge group sneak peeks, I don't put links on there. I have a different post at the end that says your coach will be sending you the information you need to get officially registered as a participant in this group. So be on the lookout for that. And then I give my new coaches the exact words to say to their prospects so that they can come back to this post, this call to action post in my challenge group sneak peek. They get to write done when they've ordered. This was posted on November 6th. And on November 6th, we have Ashley, Kim, Jennifer, Beth, Melanie. Now, granted, this is November, like Beachbody dead time. That's day 1. That's 10 points. Andrea, Peggy, Tracy. That's 3 more challenge packs, so I can't add that up. What's that? That's 8. That's 16 points. And then Taylor and Kelly, so that's 20 points. I think at the end of, after 9 days, I had 26 points. This was a group that I ran on my own. I run 2 groups a month. Apprentice group with my new coaches and some of my prospects that kind of missed the boat in the other one, and then I run one by myself. And so this was the one that I ran by myself, and you can see I hit SC26 in 9 days from this call to action. But this was set with a good foundation, first on my social media, presenting an opportunity that made sense with whatever season that we were in, and now people were ready to go. I think this was the holiday hotness group that they're in. Then, and what I want to say about this and about my next slide is to tell you a little bit about power of positive peer pressure. This is huge. Going back to this done, right? All it took was Ashley Boyton to write done. Have you ever seen that video on YouTube where the guy is like at Lollapalooza and he's like dancing by himself? I don't even know if it's Lollapalooza, but they're at some concert and they're dancing by himself, and he looks like a freak that's on like some sort of weird drug. Right? He's out there by himself and he's dancing, and all of a sudden one other person gets up with him. And now there's 2 people out there dancing in the middle of the field. And before you know it, like 4 or 5 people get up there. And then there's like a crowd of like 10 people. And after like 10 minutes, there's like 100 people up dancing together. And no longer is this one person dancing by himself. He doesn't look like a freak. It just looks like a fun party. And that is kind of what happens in this setup with the call to action, where you publicly have people say done, I've ordered my challenge pack, is it creates this trickle effect of like, okay, I'm not the only idiot that's buying into this. Okay, I don't want to miss out. Okay, everybody's doing it but me, honey. Everybody's doing it but me. Can I please buy my challenge pack? Right? And so that's the power of positive peer pressure. So another little just putting the nail in is the list. So that first post everybody puts done, I create a list in that challenge group sneak peek. Everybody's still in there. All my prospects are in there. I didn't take anybody out. But I let them know the group is closing tonight. This is who I have. Let me know if I'm missing anyone. And I list out everybody that commented done after I've confirmed their order, right? And so as they've commented done, every single time somebody comments below, don't take me out of the group, coach. I'm going to order tonight, please. And sometimes I'll get people like, please don't take me out. I'm going to order tomorrow after work. I promise. Please. I'm like, okay, chill, girl. This ain't that official. This is not like voting or something where you're like not allowed to. Yeah. And so this is another example of power of positive peer pressure. So I create a list. People join in. I always sell challenge packs after this list as well. And it gives me kind of good running idea of who all's in the group and my final list of challengers so that I can go to my assistant and ask her for the collage, which I'm going to show you in a minute. So then I have all my challenge pack sales in. I've hit SC26. Everything's good. It's like November 9th or something. We're good for the month. Now it's to run an amazing group. So I give my little rules of what's going to be, involved in the group, that it's very engaging, it's very welcoming, friendly, and fun. And I ask them to share with me a picture so that I can create a collage for our team. And here's where I get referrals, more people, and I expand my warm market into my cold market. So I create a collage for all my challengers, and I post it on my wall, and I say, check out my Rockstar Challengers. Do you recognize the face on here? I tag all of them. I get their permission first, but I tag all of them. If so, cheer them on, because in 30 days, they will be transformed. Their mindset, their fitness level, learn how to meal plan, portion control, and make some incredible friends. Seriously, this is the answer to almost every failure to lose weight and get healthy. And so I tag all those ladies in there, and their friends and family start cheering them on, and some of them are going, wait, what are you doing? I'm sorry, Ashley, what are you doing again? What is this? And then like 3 of Ashley's friends ask what it is, and so I can either present to Ashley, all right, you have 3 girls that are interested. You can be an apprentice coach in this group, and I can teach you alongside while you're working on your health and fitness. Or she could be like, heck no, I don't want nothing to do with that. You take them. And then I have referrals, right? So it's not always that one person. It might be who that person knows. You'll learn that in almost any network marketing event that you go to. Then the group is set. I remove everybody that did not order, and I put them in a notebook. I have a notebook. It's probably in my backpack that I brought to London with me. But I have a notebook full of follow-up names. Anybody who has ever said they wanted to be in my challenge group and did not buy, their name goes down in the notebook. If they buy 3 months later, their name gets marked off. So I constantly have a follow-up list to work from, and I'm a pen and paper kind of person. I wish I was like a Google spreadsheet person, but I'm not. So I write all their names down if they did not join, and I take them out of the group. And I let them know the next month. I'm like, hey, Megan, I know you didn't join my Holiday Hotness group, but I wanted to give you first dibs in my New Year, New You group. Because I know that wasn't your time, but maybe this would work for you now. And it starts the conversation back up. It's not awkward because she wanted to join it. And for some reason, it just didn't work out. So I'm giving her first dibs on my next group. Whew, it's a lot of information. All right, then the group is set up, ready to go. I have the bomb.com daily task set up where my challengers are so engaged in my challenge group. One, they have to do before and after pictures. They share their before pictures with me personally, or they can share it on the page if they feel really want to put themselves out there. And then I have a tracker. It's a Google Doc. And yes, I have the challenge tracker app. No, it's not my favorite. I'm sorry, Carl, it's not. But I do have one ongoing because I have Instagram people that don't have Facebook. So I have a challenge tracker app going as well. But this Google Doc is pinned to the top of my challenge group, and they track their own points because they get a pretty sweet prize at the end. And when I say pretty sweet, it could be like a workout tank with words on it, or a custom water bottle with their name on it. People love to win prizes. So they track their own points. They get 10 points if they do their before picture and they send it to me. They get 1 point for doing all the daily tasks each day. And the daily tasks I can share with you, Angie, and you can use them or pick them apart and use what you don't want, or use what you want and throw away what you don't want. And then they get points for do your daily workout and post a sweaty selfie in the group. They get points for drinking their Shakeology each day. And they get points for inviting a friend to the next challenge group. They get points for tagging me on a Beachbody social media page about their experience. Yeah, they go on to the 21 Day Fix Facebook page, like, oh my gosh, I'm having so much fun. Jatana's Holiday Hotness group. I've lost 5 pounds in 7 days, and it's amazing, and I'm making the best of friends. All that means is anybody who's ever bought 21 Day Fix on Amazon and they're scrolling the Facebook page, they're seeing my stuff out there and they're coming to check me out. So it's a great way to get your name out there. So we track our points daily, and then a prize is given out at the end of the challenge, at the end of the month. So here's one of the challenges that I have them do. I talked about how they get a point for doing the daily challenge. My favorite daily challenge, the one that has the most impact in my business and moves the needle in the direction that I want it to go, is I ask them to tag me on their wall and tell their audience about their experience in my challenge group. It used to be day 17's challenge, but I found that less people do it because people start falling off. So I do it at day 7 now. Perfect time. I don't know why. Day 7 is like the magical number. This is what my challenger is writing on their wall. Imagine if your challengers wrote this. You've seen all my 5 a.m. fitness photos. That's all thanks to a fitness challenge group I'm in. It's being run by Jatana Jackson. I'm being tagged in it. And it's really keeping me on track. It's a small and intimate group. We're actually chatting and sharing, not just posting selfies. I even get to brag about my awesome circuit sticker skills. I don't know what that means, but okay. If you get a chance to be in one of Jatana's groups, do it. You'll make friends, get tips, and have the ultimate support. My challenger wrote that on her wall. That's getting my name out there to her audience. And it's also possibly making her into a coach, because if people start commenting they want to be in it, then I can present the opportunity to her. Another one wrote, day-to-day life can be so busy, and as parents, we often forget about taking care of ourselves. Wow, it sounds like that person has listened to my story and they can relate to it, right? With that said, it is so great reaching my goals with other like-minded ladies and being held accountable for my workouts and nutrition. Thank you to Jatana Jackson for creating this awesome challenge group and helping us reach our personal goals. She wrote that on her wall, and she tagged me. So on day 7 of my challenge groups, you go check out my wall. It's like loaded down with testimonials of what this experience is for them, which means my audience sees it too. So my Facebook friends or followers are starting to see, all the people who told me no are seeing all these experiences from other people. So it's a win-win with your credibility with your audience and building a network of referrals in their markets, their warm markets. So helps find future coaches. It brings more traffic to your page and it expands your circle of influence. So the challenge is over. They've done all their daily tasks. We have a winner. What happens next? How do you close this shindig out? So I give them 3 options. I wish I would have clicked see more so you could see the 3 options, but I'm going to tell you. You can write them down. The first option is to join my next challenge group. They get 2 rounds of 30-day groups. After that, they go into a Jatana's VIP group. So join my next challenge group. So this one was New Year, New You. Or option 2 is to join my VIP group, and that's usually if they're already on their second round of challenge groups with me, because I want to keep them smaller. I don't want them to compound over time and then have a 120-person challenge group. I want to keep them at like 50 or less. Third option is to come find out about the coaching opportunity, and I list, all the benefits of if you're military, if you're a veteran, that you get 25% off. Here's the link to join a sneak peek that tells you a little bit about coaching. And I have this group always open. And so I don't have to reinvent it. Sometimes I might change it a little bit and update the videos. Now, like the UK is open and things like that. So the first option, join my next 30-day challenge group. They click the link and go. They redirect themselves into that group. Second option, Jatana's VIP group. Those are the people who they're on their 3rd round. Third option, come check out coaching in my sneak peek with videos that are already preset up there. And that is the way I funnel people into the next spot of where they're going to be. And my Rockstar Challengers turn into Rockstar Coaches. These are just a few of my leaders on my team. They're my Diamond Coaches, and they all have incredible transformations that all were founded in the challenge group experience. So what I want you to focus on is attracting people who relate to you and your story. Run amazing challenge groups. Do not but it, always a bad word. Get them results, just like these pictures you see here, and then share the coaching opportunity with them at the end so they have the ability to make that decision for themselves. And you can plant those seeds all throughout the 30 days that you're with them. Hashtag future coach. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for being a leader in this group. You're so inspiring. One of the challenges that I give them is to shout another challenger out and tell them why they encourage you. And that's where you really start to find who your coaches are, because they'll be like, oh my gosh, Lacey, you're so amazing. Every day your posts just really inspire me. And Lacey's like, oh my gosh, I'm just a customer in here. Thank you. You guys are making me feel so special. Right? Future coach. So that's how I run my challenge groups and how I run my sneak peeks. What questions can I answer? That was a lot.
I'm like beside myself right now. Like I don't take notes on calls and I have like 10 million. That was amazing. Girl, you deliver. You feel like you have to answer questions. Like if you guys have questions, by all means, but like what could you possibly ask? My mind is blown. Dude, you have a team full of recruiters here. So like you just helped us so much because we're all like challenge group what? So good. Like, oh my God, thank you. Okay. So I just wrote like I look how organized my notes are.
Wow, that's really pretty.
I was really proud of myself. Like from everything from like how you run your sneak peeks. So I run sneak peeks to recruit coaches, but I don't really run sneak peeks to sign up challengers, but it makes so much sense. And it saves you time too. And then I loved your last slide, how like you see their first picture and they look like coaches, like in that second picture, and they're like golden coaches, like the best. It made me so happy. And you're hilarious, by the way. I was literally like, that's why I mute myself, because I usually will laugh in the middle of people's.
I'm a dork.
So good. Nobody has questions because honestly, I don't. Oh, you quickly mentioned like that you don't love the app, but like you use it. Do you use it? Like what's your thoughts?
I'm having a hard time transitioning because, it's hard to reinvent what is working fantastically right now. Yeah. But I am, now that Instagram has become a big part of my jam, I'm finding that a lot of my followers on Instagram don't have Facebook. So that makes running challenge groups a little difficult. So right now I have my assistant running an ongoing challenge group on the Challenge Tracker app. But yeah, I just feel so disconnected to it. I have a really hard time with it.
That's like, I feel the opposite. Like when I'm in the app, like if I'm using the app and there's people in the app, I feel like super connected. Like you almost have to pick one. And if there's people, like you said, that just don't have Facebook, then like pre-schedule them or like just accommodate, but pick one to be like, I love that you're like so in it and you have like your post scheduled and like the prizes and everything. Like I want to be in your challenge group. Oh, and yeah, what's your VIP group? Like how do you, is it the same posts?
No. So the VIP group, we try to switch it up as much as possible. I use it as my own accountability group. Now I post in my regular challenge groups, but I'm in my VIP group. Those are the people that have been with me for almost, some of them are 3-4 years now. And so I'm just real and raw in there. So if I'm having a bad day, I go live in there. They're my homies. So it's like a little club of people that they get each other. And then the new crop of people come in. We're like, hey, girls, welcome to the party. You graduated to the Cool Kids Club. And it's just become like this little fun club to be a part of.
I love that. So do you have coaches that like, are any of your coaches in your challenge group?
Okay, so the way I told you, I run 2 a month. One is my private group, and where I really slay Success Club, and the other one is to groom my new coaches. So all of my coaches that I signed in October will be apprentice coaches in a November group, and that's where I'm sealing the deal for them. I'm showing them how to sell. I'm taking the pressure off of selling a challenge pack. They've got to go create relationships and get people in there as prospects, and then I'll do the legwork in the actual challenge group. They can experience it. They've already been a challenger too, and now they're I do, we do, you do.
And so you run the sneak peek challenge or the challenge group sneak peek for them. Do you run the challenge group for them too?
I schedule the posts. Yep. Yeah, but they go live in there. I assign them to go live throughout the week. So one will take Monday, one will take Wednesday. Say if there's 4 coaches in there, they're practicing with me. We just break out the week on how they're going to pour into their challengers.
Okay, now you have questions.
Okay.
Christy's will be good, and it's a long-winded question, Christy.
Well, please.
Tana, can you see it, or do you want me to read it to you?
Oh, yeah, read it.
Solution to your seasonal problem. Is the same CTA you're using for your sneak peeks, or is it 2 separate ones? I totally paraphrase whenever I read. I don't know why I struggle with getting CTAs from IG. I don't turn over to a sneak peek. I lose people there. I know you utilize stories for your CTAs like a boss. You're positive for your pressure too, which I loved. Is that when people officially sign up, or do you want them to, or do they, or want to be added to the sneak peek? I don't know if that makes sense. Chrissy, sorry for rambling.
I know, I'm trying to figure out. There's like 4 or 5 questions.
I know. She's practicing doctor. Can you tell? Like 10 million questions.
All right, hold on. Your post to your wall, your IG public about your solution to, yes, everything's public. I think that's what you're asking. Is that the same call to action you're using in your sneak peek? Or 2 separate? I don't understand.
I understand. Whenever you showed your sneak peek preview, and you showed that you had like a call to action in there, like at the kickoff, that was like your first post, I think. Is that the same as what you would post publicly?
No. Mm-mm.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Crystal, does that make sense?
The call to action on my wall is more lifestyle call to action and to join the group, the actual sneak peek group.
Okay, cool. So you don't do like an official like 3 spots left in my challenge group publicly or anything like that?
I do a lot on my Insta stories. I'll kind of breadcrumb that out, and I do it on my Facebook page as well, but more Insta stories.
Your Insta stories are fwags. Fwags means fire, by the way. Someone asked me, they're like, what does that mean? I checked out your Insta stories the other day, and if you guys want like a great training that Jatana's done, I totally stalked you the other day. I literally like wanted you to do a call for us. I'm like, she's the best. She has to. But on YouTube, on like the Beachbody Champions page, you did like 2 calls for them that were, I think, some of the best calls that they've had in a long time. And you talked all about your Instagram stories.
Yeah.
Which I need to get on that bandwagon.
That's my jam. Like I barely am on Facebook as much anymore. I can do a call to action on Insta stories and completely fill up my challenge group in a day easily.
That's amazing.
But
that's due to you being consistent, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing with consistency on Facebook page, like I talked about in the presentation, but same with your Insta stories. Like people need to know that every single morning I'm going to get up and I'm going to dance to Luke Bryan making my Shakeology. Like they know that it's there. And when I don't show up, they're like, where are you? Because I look forward to seeing your stuff every single morning. I'm like, okay, chill girl. So you have to be super consistent to get their loyalty to watching you. And we all have people that we watch, right? We go and we're like, what is so-and-so wearing today, or we want to go check them out. You got to be that person on their Instagram. Come follow me on Instagram and watch. And that's the nice thing. Unlike like pages, your friends aren't going to be like, ooh, who's she following, right? Follow me on Instagram and watch for 30 days. I have a cycle, and you'll start seeing a familiar cycle that I go through.
I love that. Someone asked what you use to make your videos. Do you use iMovie?
That's like I literally probably have 250 inbox requests about iMovie. But yes, I do iMovie. Yes, I speed my music up, and everybody says we're going to get shut down.
No, you're fine.
But I speed up 1 1/4. iMovie has been kind of the sticker to my business. People love it. They find, and then I've got coaches that have criticized me, like, you're not really working out. All you're doing is dancing around. I'm like, you know what? But my challengers are smiling and they're saying, you make it look fun.
Also, have you seen your before and after picture that was featured in the 80 Day Obsession trailer? So can you tell them real quick, and we'll cap it off at that, how awesome the 80 Day Obsession is? So Jatana's in the test group with me, and Homegirl has probably like the best results in the freaking group. I feel like super inadequate right now. Can you tell them how awesome it is?
Better just go eat some turkey all day long. I'm kidding. No, it's absolutely amazing. I'm kind of an autumn diehard girl. I always have been. And this program is different than anything I've ever experienced. The moves that my body is having to do is blows my mind. Sometimes I watch it and I'm like, wait, what? You want me to do what? It's amazing. And so my body is changing in ways. I'm getting muscle in ways. I'm kind of a scrawny girl, and I'm getting definition and muscle weight in ways I've never had before. And so one of the things I want to encourage you to do is to really push this Little Obsessed group, because that's going to prep people up for the 80 Day Obsession bod challenge pack that you're going to sell later, right? So I would encourage people to do the Little Obsessed. That's what I'm pushing right now.
Oh, and your results are like ridiculous.
Yes, the girl's got abs. I have 2
your sweet potatoes that you roll into. I was dying. I was literally crying during that story. That's so me. I so relate. And like a lot of my team, by the way, like when you're talking, I'm like, oh yeah, like I could see Megan Crowell commenting. I'm like, oh my God, my girls totally get you. Like, I feel like we understand each other.
That's what lashes I wear. Red Cherry number 43. I saw Emily ask. Sorry.
We're like the same person. Lashes and you're good to go.
Yes.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. Honestly, Jatana, this call will probably be used for our future team Upper University, like our Coach Training Academy, because that's how good it freaking was. I'm blown away. I appreciate your time and like how awesome this was. I will probably get 10 million messages for your slides. Please share them, because save me. Have a great night. Honestly, like I don't even know how to thank you enough. Everybody's like blown away, and the call was maxed out, like more than maxed out.
Yay!
You have angry sauce people that couldn't get in. So you killed it. Like I'm blown away. Thank you so much. I will be speaking on your call sometime in the near future, probably.
Absolutely, yes.
Love you, girl. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.